Sand Creek Massacre. We read a couple of textbook accounts. We looked at the Chivington documents. We're going to see what really happened. Here's what we know: 700 members of the 1st Colorado Cavalry. Cavalry is a term, we don't really have cavalry in the military anymore, like back then. But in the 1860s, you either fought from horseback or you fought on foot. The cavalry fought from horseback. 700 members of the 1st Colorado Cavalry attack a friendly Cheyenne village led by Black Kettle at Sand Creek. They were led by General John Chivington. The number of Cheyenne killed is not officially known. Most historians estimate the number to be around 150. One of the textbooks, I believe, said 150. The other said hundreds. Chivington, his lowest number was 400. So right here, we know Chivington was lying. He was way off. And if anyone had known the accurate count, it would have been him because he was there. Most likely, he was boosting the number to make himself look better. When the attack came, most of the warriors were out hunting buffalo, leaving around 60 men. The rest were women and children. Again, we catch Chivington in a lie. In front of Congress, he said very few women and children were killed. The 60 men that were there were older men. So essentially, Chivington and the 1st Colorado Cavalry attacked a bunch of old men, women, and children. Most of the soldiers were drunk at the time of the attack. This explains why. The reason I'm telling you this explains why Chivington had some men killed. When they went into the village that day, the Cheyenne didn't fight back. Most of them were probably running for their lives. Anyway, because they were drunk, they were running around this village shooting, and they accidentally killed some of their own men. In war, we call this friendly fire. Picture of Chivington and Black Kettle. As the attack began, the Cheyenne raised a white flag. We talked about how this was a peaceful village. Black Kettle went to Washington, D.C., met with Lincoln, got a peace medal, got a flag. White flag typically means surrender. They were not fighting back. As mentioned, about 2/3 of those that were killed were women and children. And finally, this explains the last document. I don't know how it happened, but word got out that something shady happened at Sand Creek. So Congress was investigating. They called Chivington. I don't know if they called any other soldiers or any of the Native Americans in for questioning. But in the end, none of the 1st Colorado Cavalry, including Chivington, were found guilty of any crimes. So justice really wasn't served. I don't think we should be overly surprised based on the time period. During this time period, most Americans, white Americans,